if LeBron and Luka are going to work together. Go back to Miami. D-Wade and LeBron. That wasn't a good fit. Both need the ball to excel. Neither are great shooters. They were just two great athletes. And they ended up getting to 4 straight finals. Stephen, KD, and Klay Thompson. One ball, 3 guys that need it. Last night, LeBron and the Lakers, second highest plus minus for LeBron this season. And the Lakers had their second highest point title. Between the Warriors, the Heatles, and LeBron and Luka, what do all 3 have in common? In basketball, smart guys figure it out. A lot of stars can't. They lack self-awareness, right? The egos, the lack of self-awareness. I mean, the OKC Westbrook-Melo thing, it just didn't work. KD, Steph, Klay worked. The Heatles worked. LeBron and Luka, Austin Reeves, it's going to work. I mean, last night before the game, LeBron's like, don't worry about fitting in. We'll work around you. Just go score. And I think that's chemistry's an issue when you have selfish guys and insecure guys and guys with no self-awareness. You know, Harden and Kyrie playing with KD in Brooklyn. KD was great. The other 2 guys were a pain. They hurt chemistry. So LeBron and Luka are engaged. They're smart. They have huge brands. So they're very, very secure in who they are. Both excellent passers. The only weird part for me is, how the hell is LeBron still this good? What's in that wine he's drinking? I swear, he looks like he's in year 12 or 13. LeBron's amazing. But if you go back to the Heatles in Miami, they didn't have any size. Joel Anthony, remember him? Joel Anthony was a 6'9.5" center. They had no true point guard. But it was one of the smartest teams I've ever seen. Shane Battier, Ray Allen, LeBron, Haslam. I mean, it just everybody. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. They just made it work. Draymond, Steph, Klay, KD. Smart guys just make it work. So now, Luka's rusty. Okay, never played with these guys. I don't care about practice. Never played game speed with these guys. Hasn't played in a long time. And the Lakers do have an issue, and it's a real issue. They have no rim protection. Jackson Hayes is a fun guy on alley-oops, and you saw a lot of alley-oops last night. But they don't have any rim protection. So when the Mark Williams deal from Carolina did not go through the Charlotte deal, that's kind of a bummer. Now, like Robert Williams, who the Celtics had for years, he wasn't available very much, but when he was available, he changed the temperature in the room. So they're going to have to address that on the market and see if they can find somebody. But I'll say this about the Lakers last night. When I watched it, especially in the first half, because they put the game away in the first half, it felt young, it felt fun, it felt fresh. I looked it up this morning, 10 more threes. They took 10 more threes than average. There were more alley-oops. You know what? 3-pointers everywhere. Again, Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka. Yes, they all need the ball. But you know what? Smart guys figured out. And Staples was roaring, all the Luka jerseys. I think this thing is going to be excellent. And I'll get to in a second why I think they can win the West. The Lakers felt like they went from analog to digital. And if you look at the Western Conference standings, why can't they get there? Memphis is number 2. I don't trust them. They play very fast, great pacing. I'm not sure if that transfers to the playoffs. Denver is horrific defensively. Now, Jamal Murray's healthy again and playing well. They're a bad defensive team. The Rockets can't shoot. Super young. I think they're a regular season team. I think they'll be a one and done in the playoffs. Clippers, do you really trust them? So I look at the West. The best team I've seen in the NBA by a long shot is the Celtics. I watched them hammer the Knicks again. Boston's the best team in the league. OKC is very good. That I won't deny. And I'm not sure if the Lakers can beat them, although it feels like to me they've matched up with them pretty well the last couple of years with AD and LeBron. So my takeaway is I watched last night. It was a lot of threes, a lot of alley-oops. It's only going to get better. I mean, Luka hasn't played in forever. First game with the guys. I think if they could figure out, I said it before, if the Mark Williams thing would have gone through, I would have had no problem saying Lakers in the final. I don't know if they can beat Boston. Probably not, but I think they could get there. I don't know if they can win the West, but I'm watching all the – listen, it's an offensive sport, right? I mean, defense matters, but people get frustrated when Jason Tatum doesn't take the game over offensively, not defensively. So I'm reading this story about the Super Bowl ratings, and 126 million viewers for the Super Bowl 59. First of all, it's more than that. but it's hard to track how many people actually watch. The Nielsen ratings, they do count out-of-home viewers, but you don't really have an exact count on that. You're kind of guessing at some point. I think it probably was closer to 136 million. And the second thing is this wasn't, let's be totally honest about this, it wasn't a good game. The peak of the rating was in the second quarter. What if it had been an overtime game? Could you get to 130, 35 million? But there's a lot of reasons why I think the NFL keeps extending their season and adding games, because there's an insatiable appetite for it. We never get tired of it. And the other thing is there's a reason they keep playing games now in Australia, and they're going to go to Brazil again, and they're going to go. They won the U.S. market. If you dominate America, spread your wings. So when people complain about games overseas, why not? They own the country. And I think there's a lot of reasons why the NFL is king. It's a once-a-week sport, but that's always been true. But we didn't have the iPhone and TikTok in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We are a very, very distracted nation. It is harder to get people's attention Monday through Friday, and the NFL is a once-a-week game. The second thing is it's a really good television product, not just because I work at Fox. NBC, CBS, ABC are great too, but the production of the television product is outstanding. The other thing, it's relatable. Football players, there is no load management. They play in the snow, they play in the wind, they play in the rain. Like the rest of us, they just go to work when they're not 100%. It's totally relatable. The other thing is they make big changes regularly. They bailed on Oakland. They upgraded to Vegas. They bailed on San Diego. I know it hurts. They upgraded in L.A. They bailed on St. Louis. They'd bail on Jacksonville tomorrow if they could. They're not going to be burdened by tradition. They're not going to worry about what the hardcore traditionalists and the romantics think. They're going to take swings and evolve. And I think they constantly pivot on rule changes. Baseball struggles with that. Basketball makes changes. Sometimes, though, they feel a little bit like they're out of desperation. Last week, they're talking about shorter quarters. Who's ever worried about how long a quarter is? We worry that you got too many games or load management. And so I think there's a lot of reason for the changes. I just think more than anything, it's a very well-run league by adults. Agents run baseball. Players run the NBA. Economically, it is 2 times the size of the NBA, yet feels like it's nimble, like a sailboat. It can turn quickly. During a Super Bowl, rule changes, always willing to change. And somebody told me this years ago that any time there's a change, basketball thinks of it first, baseball makes the most money out of it, and football gets it right. And I think the NFL, more than any league, just consistently gets it right. When changes are needed, they don't pander. Agents and the players don't run the league. They're like every good company I've ever worked for. And none of the companies I've ever worked for that are very well run are run by the employees. They value the employees. They pay the employees. They treat the employees well. It's not run by the employees. I should not be running Fox. I should not be running it. I'm treated well. I shouldn't be running it. And so there you go. The number is huge. I think it's probably bigger than that, and it was not a very competitive game.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.